Imagine the terror of scaling along the face of this hill as you put up the fiercest battle Singapore has ever witnessed. I'm Ira, and we are now at Bukit Chandu, where the last significant battle took place during the Japanese invasion. We are now at the museum, which is called Reflections of Bukit Chandu. This museum was used to store military and food supplies during the World War. Now let's take a look inside. Here we have a picture that depicts the battle during the war. And this pool symbolizes the peace that comes after the war ends. And this is depicted by the poem Mr. Edwin Tambu recited. Deepest hopes you will help fulfill, now harmony and quiet rule. Sacrifice and courage on this hill is peace reflecting on this pole. Edwin Tambu. This statue is the representation of a Malay regiment 3-inch mortar team in action. It symbolizes the battle readiness, discipline and tenacity of the men in combat. They stood united in courage and honor, and they fought to the very end. As you enter the museum, you may find the timeline of the invasion on your left-hand side.
The British also allowed the Malayan Communist Party to help set up the Singapore Overseas Chinese Anti-Japanese Volunteer Army.
The Battle of Pasir Panjang took place between 8 to 14 February 1942. On the 8th February 1942, under intense artillery bombardment and despite heavy losses, the 13,000 Japanese elite troops crossed the Johor Strait, outnumbering Allied defence forces of the 44th Indian Brigade and the 22nd Australian Brigade. On the 9th to 11th February 1942, Japanese troops and tanks advanced towards the town. The following day, sensing the danger of a tank breakthrough into the town area, Lieutenant General Percival ordered a closed perimeter defense to include piers and McRitchie reservoirs. Japanese troops renewed their attacks on all fronts with tanks and artillery. Together with the 44th Indian Brigade and the 2nd Lawyers Regiment, the Malay Regiment repulsed the attacks. However, in the chaotic and confused situation, the troops decided to withdraw further inland. On 13 February 1942, the Japanese next attacked Pasir Panjang village. On 14 February 1942, Malay Regiment retreated to Bukit Chandu. Japanese attacked fiercely in the afternoon. It was here, on Bukit Chandu, that the Malay Regiment soldiers fought most gallantly. This battle against incredible odds became known to posterity of the illustrious Battle of Bukit Chandu.
Here we have another attraction of the museum, which is called the Well of Reflection. This well is used to depict that war turns the world upside down. These phones, you can listen to the reflections of the soldiers and the war survivors.
Deep rumbling guns, sharp whistle in the air, their shells rip into chain our earth. Then attacks propelled by fury, yet no despair, no crack in our resolve, freedom's worth. Is the blood we shed? Our cause is just. Sacrifice will never be in vain. Ta'at Setia, we hold our hill, we must. Come comrades, our spirits soar again. The enemy are many, we are few. At one point, strategic point, they boldly came. Across the stream, up ravine sweet with dew. We bayonet drove, we slew, left many lame. From that clash their hatred grew. Days and nights are sad with mournings. Houses broken, children we can't find. The dead, the dying, the groaning. War has no glory, only what's bitterly unkind. We may yield the moment, never the inner self. A soldier's oath, solemn made, is deep. With duty, honor, the fellowship of life itself. This we cherish, keep as companions of our memory, as guardians of our sleep.
In 1933, Lieutenant Anand joined the Malay Regiment. 1 year later, he was voted the best recruit, and in 1936, he was promoted to the rank of sergeant. In 1937, he attended officer training course in Singapore and was promoted to second lieutenant and became leader of the 7th Platoon C Company 1st Battalion. In 1942, he led his whole company to defend the Pasir Panjang area. However, in February 14, 1942, he was captured and killed in Bukit Chandu. During that time, he was 27 years old. He was regarded by the Malaysian and Singaporean today as a hero for his action on Bukit Chandu.
If we do not remember our heroes, we will produce no heroes. If we do not record their sacrifices would have been in vain. The greatest strength we have as people is our common memories of the past and our common hopes for the future. For without those memories, the next generation will not have the fighting spirit to carry on.
The reflection of Bukit Chandu is a historical event that occurred in Cambridge Park, where it is one of the most important battles for Singapore, and the sacrifice of the soldiers will never be forgotten. Reflections is a wonderful choice of words to describe the place and what it shows us of the conflict of the invading Japanese in Singapore. We have learned about the turbulent past of Singapore during the war years through the eyes of those Malay regiment soldiers who fought bravely to defend our country, which led by Lieutenant Anand. In the museum, the interactive display statues and the videos that reenact on how the soldiers fought bravely against the Japanese is just what we need to dive back into history and experience for ourselves the pain that the soldiers went through. It does make me reflect as how passionate they were and a sense of duty and honor for their country. This is exactly what all of us need to truly appreciate the struggles that Singapore went through to be where it is now.